I have a group called Women Realtors Who Invest, and I also do that women's breakfast thing, So it's just kind of like it's a way to put women together. Because remember, I said we're the minority there, and so we need to come together as women and work with each other. So I have about 100 people in my Women Realtors Who Invest,
Wow.
and I need to do that's just a little over a year old. There you go. And it's for women realtors like myself that go, I've always wanted to invest, but I don't know what to do. So that is kind of that's my give back to the community that I work in, if that makes sense.
Wow, yeah. There was a transformation there, right? And that moment back in time, it was crucial for you then.
Oh, when I joined Grant's Group for the first time?
When you decided, I'm going to invest in myself.
Oh my God. I mean, maybe y'all feel different about it, but I don't. As a woman and as a mother, a wife, that kind of stuff, you're typically last on the list, right?
Yeah, I see it from my wife. Tell me that.
You're gonna get the kids are gonna get the shoes and the food and whatever, and the husband's gonna get this, and you are gonna get some leftovers. And so it's just kind of a lot of women don't feel like they're worthy or they're worth it. I know that sounds weird, but I think there's some truth in that.
Bonnie Schwam? Did I say right? Bonnie Schwam?
Bonnie Schwam.
Yeah, that's you.
Right.
What a pleasure to have you, Bonnie.
Thank you so much. Good to be here.
Yes, awesome. Tell me, we met at the conference boot camp for commercial real estate on Rod, but I know that you're doing.
Wasn't that a Warriors event?
The Warriors event.
Yeah.
Last year. Yes.
Oh my gosh, has it been? Yeah, probably last fall.
Almost 1 year.
No, was it in Phoenix or was it in Sarasota?
Sarasota.
I think it was in Sarasota. I agree.
Yes.
But they're having one coming up in October. Are you going?
I think so. Yeah. Are you?
Yeah. Yes.
Awesome.
I am going.
Meet you there then.
Yes, absolutely.
And besides the commercial, I think you're doing single family. You still doing storage?
So as far as my day job, my day job is I'm a residential real estate agent. So I'm a broker associate. So I do real estate, both multifamily, but I also do residential, single family, that kind of thing. So I've done that for a long time.
I don't know. Have you ever been a full-time broker?
Broker commercial or residential?
Residential.
Well, we come out in Colorado as broker associates. So we come out as a higher level. Some people come out in different states as sales agents, sales associates, that kind of stuff. So in Colorado, we have more training. We require more. So we're at a higher level starting out than most, if that makes sense.
That means that you can act in any kind of real estate. Is that what that mean?
Well, I think as far as what they always tell you, to swim in your own lane. So if you it's like swim in your own lane. It's also that it goes with areas like I'm in Colorado. So it's kind of like I could potentially sell anywhere in the state of Colorado, but they like you to stay in the areas because that's the best way to serve your clients, right?
Right.
And so I have a pretty wide net of where I serve. So because I've been doing this a long time, and so it's so it's fun. So a lot of people, I think that real estate, residential real estate, and commercial real estate kind of go hand in hand, because as one market is doing a thing, it affects commercial as well. So, and vice versa. So it's kind of like, I see that. And I've seen that more recently, because I was like, I wasn't on the bandwagon, even though I own, properties in Florida and Texas. I wasn't going in for all those big markets that everybody was like, oh, I want to join. I want to be in Nashville. Well, I don't want to be in Nashville. I want to be in Miami. I don't want to be in Miami, even though I'm in Fort Lauderdale. But no, I think as far as, I always thought the Midwest is stable. It doesn't give you like maybe the big highs, but it's stable. It just kind of is consistent, and it's proving true with real estate right now. As far as residential real estate, we're beginning to go into a market shift. So where it was kind of a seller's market, and there was a time in the last 4 years in COVID land that we had real estate over list, 50, 100,000 over list, no inspections. It was that kind of craziness. And I was like, I always caution my people, you should get an inspection and you should only pay XYZ over list. But you had to pay over list. And some people, you had to waive your inspection so that you could get the property. And I think that was a little bit faulty, because people got into properties that they probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, I saw
And
that here as well. People paying, I don't know, 100 or plus over the ask price just because they want it, and the fact that it gets the price is climbing and climbing and climbing, right?
but right now it's not. I mean, as far as, there's still some gains every year, but right now we're seeing probably like on list to sell, like list price to sell price. You're probably seeing 97, 98% of the list price is what the sell price will be. So we're seeing, it just depends on the property, just like anything else, right? In
Yeah.
commercial, it's like, where is the property located? What features does it have? What is the price currently? All of that you take into consideration. But it's some people are doing really well. A lot of people in real estate, residential real estate, weren't doing quite so well in 2024. Um, I did good. I mean, I had a good year, not a great year, but a good year. I'll be happy. And this year is better than last year, so that's good. Not quite the boom of COVID, but I'm just doing good. So I say it funds my ventures into multifamily.
Yeah, it seems that doing by doing the way that you're explaining, it gives you great grasp of the market, right? If you're focused on one market, then you can, and doesn't matter, single family, commercial, whatever. It gives you a great overlook of everything that is happening. And you're mentioning that it's not like during COVID. Let's say for the past 5 years, which struggles you had and you had to overcome?
Oh my gosh. I would tell you, when what didn't COVID, like, was 2020 kind of in that,
Yeah,
is what I want to,
yeah,
I think we
yeah.
felt like we lost some years in there. But the biggest thing that happened at that point was that as real estate agents, they were trying to determine if we were essential or non-essential, because people couldn't go different places, they couldn't go to work, they couldn't do different things unless you were essential. Like a healthcare worker would be essential, like a hospital person, they're essential, a fireman, policeman. But were real estate agents essential? And every day it kind of changed. Well, yeah, maybe not. Oh no, photographers aren't essential. Well, yeah, they are, because that helps us, get the property ready for market. And then what about home inspectors? Were they essential or non-essential? So we went through this gyration of what was essential and what wasn't. So it was kind of it kind of went back and forth for a minute, and it was like, okay, I think we're essential, And then as far as then it got to the point, okay, you're essential, but then you had to go when you went into a property or when you listed a property, you had to have the nitrile gloves, you had to have the mask, you had to have the booties, you had to spray everything down, don't touch anything. It was so crazy. And then you would have a line of people down the street because everybody wanted to buy a house because interest rate was like free money, right? And that 2 and 3% interest rate, it was free money. It was like, come on. And now it's hard for people to adjust to a more balanced market where it might be 6% or 6.5%. That's double the price that you would have paid for the same house, 4 years earlier.
Yeah.
So people are, we call it the big stall. People are like stalling. They're like, okay, I think I want to buy. I think I need to buy. And then the people that bought at the low rates, the 2 and 3%, they're staying because they're like, I'm not doubling my payment to go somewhere else unless I have to. So people are staying put, right? But then there's all these people that have to sell, but then the buyers are like, I don't know. And they just kind of set. It's so funny because right now it's like they're setting where before, like we talked earlier, was the overlist and crazy multiple offers and all that kind of stuff. Now it's let's sit back. I kind of like this house. I like 80% of this house, but I don't like 100% of it. So I'm not going to make an offer on it. So that's kind of the market we're at right now. So I feel like that's also maybe in commercial as well. I think there's people are needing to sell because remember they every 5 years they kind of refi or they sell, or there's people that have been in the business a long time and they want to sell their business or their apartment complex or whatever, and they need to sell. So you're going to probably see more in the commercial realm, potentially more owner carries because it sometimes helps with capital gains and such like that. So it's kind of, you're not seeing so much of that in the residential side, but commercial, it potentially is an owner carry because it gets the owner out. He still doesn't have to get capital gains on that big amount, if you will, because he's still kind of a part of the process. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. But during that period that you mentioned, people were, I don't know how to say that, double checking. Oh, is the broker essential? Is the photographer essential? What do you think was the mindset for that?
We were in a world that we had never been in. I mean, meaning that we had never had, I mean, there was the Spanish influenza back in the early 1900s, right? That was kind of
Right.
worldwide. But you didn't really ever have anything like COVID since maybe the Spanish influenza, right? So
Yeah,
we,
right.
100 years later, well, some of them might still be alive, but I mean, we never experienced that. So how in the world did we know how to navigate it? Here, let's space 6 feet apart. Remember that? 6 feet apart. If you want to travel, you got to get your nose swabbed. I mean, good Lord. It was something. And it
Yeah.
was, kids at home doing online learning. I don't think that did anybody any favors for sure. I have like
No.
grandkids that had some delays there because of it. And I'm sure that there's other people that went, that didn't really do my kids, especially if they're social kids and they need that social interaction with other kids their age.
Oh
Because
yeah.
right. So it was just kind of, it was once we got that figured out, it was good. It was good for sales, for residential sales, because everybody was, you would travel, like I sell in the mountains, so they would go up into the mountains and that kind of stuff and buy things, that kind of thing. But um, I think some of those now have buyer's remorse, right?
Oh
So
yeah,
they're like,
definitely.
wow, they're like, why did I buy this? Oh no, now what do I do with it? So
Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing to do. Yeah,
I
I
think that,
remember
go ahead.
my son was 10 at the time, and um, during that crucial time, well, 10, you were 10 years old and you stop having human interaction with your friends. It was
That
tough.
was tough. It was tough, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
I think as far as that stalled some of them, you know, I think that there were graduating class where they couldn't have graduation or prom or, you know, any of those things you do, or college graduation. I mean, that was a very tough time. And I, you know, I have a theory on that, but I'll keep that for offline. But no, I think as far as now we're in a more stable market. I meaning buyers and sellers. It's not really gravitating one way or the other. It's kind of like trying to balance out. And so you'll
Okay.
see more seller concessions. You'll see right now you're seeing, and I would think that you would see this in commercial as well. Interest rate buy downs. Have you heard that?
Yes. Yeah.
So that's kind of the thing. That's the new thing. As far
Oh,
as if you're a buyer, you're going to ask for an interest rate buy down because you can save, depending on the price of the property, $1,000 a month in your
yeah.
payment.
Okay.
So why wouldn't you do that? And
Yeah.
it makes more sense than lowering the purchase price. You have more value in an interest rate buy down than you do in a price reduction.
Makes sense, of
Unless
course.
it was significant, you know,
Yeah.
significant, of course. But
Because
yeah,
one you're carrying over 30 years, 15 years, 20, I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
So $10,000 or $20,000 doesn't change your payment that much.
Yeah.
But dropping your interest rate a couple of points is big. It's
Yeah,
big.
it is. It is.
So yeah,
What you doing that is exciting now? How's 2025 after all this? What's
it's been
exciting?
busy. It's busy. It's like it's funny because I have a lot of listings right now. I'm great. I'm blessed. I'm grateful. But but I think as far as now we want to go, can we buy a buyer? Could I have a buyer for 500, please? Because we want buyers before. I mean, you know, listings were the name of the game, and now we're like, can I have a buyer, please? So I do have some of those too, but it's yeah, it's interesting, and I think as far as I'm kind of keeping my pulse, like we are working through because I'm a general partner on 2,600 self storage units in Texas, and we're having some challenges. Let's just say, let's just say we're having challenges. So um,
And how are you working around those challenges? That's what I want to know. You don't
weekly
need to tell the
meetings.
challenges, but how are you working around it?
Well, number one, we're having like weekly meetings. So all of the GPs are having meetings. We're thinking outside. This is the time to think outside the box. You know
Okay.
what I mean? So it's like, okay, if we have 7 locations, what do they have? One has a cell tower. So maybe we can sell the cell tower, right? The
Okay.
leases to the cell tower. We have space for U-Hauls. Let's put a U-Haul company there because one goes with the other, right?
Yeah.
We have billboards. What does our billboard leases look like? A lot of people that look into self storage, they also look at solar capabilities because it's a
Oh,
great place to have solar companies put their solar products, you know, because it's kind of like it's easy. It's kind of open, it's flat. Can you use it on the roofs? That kind of stuff. So that's a really so you have to begin to think outside the box. And what do the locations have that you can capitalize on? Does that make sense?
yeah. So being creative, it's the way you're working around the market now.
Right. And we're having uh, great minds on the GP team. We're all kind of coming together. working out solutions so that we're all kind of on board, if that makes sense. So we did recently, and a lot of people may or may know about GP capital calls. So that's when you're a GP. I always say, you think you're going to get all rich as a GP, but I go, you're pretty much the last to get paid.
Yes.
And it's like, you always want to take care of your limited partners first. Of course, your lenders, that kind of thing, but your preferred equity partners. But you also, so if there's a little bit left, the GPs may get that. I mean, it's kind of interesting because we get a little bit of payment at the front, when we fund, and then typically, the cycle is like 3 to 5 years, that kind of thing. And so we are actually in our 4th year, and I don't think we have a couple of our properties up for sale because we have 7 locations, and some of them are doing better than others, so it all kind of comes together, and you have to really work as a team, a unit, to get through it. And I'm sure that there's other people that are having some struggles with maybe their apartment or mobile home communities or whatever they're in, because
Yeah.
everything like retail spaces, whoo,
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of that. I'm like, okay, because retail, a lot of it's going out, going under, or like we
Mm.
had and here in Colorado, when I was with this one real estate team group, we probably had 3 or 4 floors of a big commercial high rise, right?
Right.
COVID happened, all of this happened, everything was happening. And now they have 1 floor, and that gave up the other floors. And so that commercial building is hurting for the leasing because other people aren't leasing either. Remember, because everybody could work from home. Remember the work from home?
Mm-hmm.
And now they're just now in the last year or so, they're saying, okay, that was really nice that you could work from home, but we want to see you in the office now.
Yeah, it's
Have
happening.
you seen that?
Yeah.
So that's actually good for commercial leasing if they make you come back. But a lot of people don't want to come back. So there you go. They
Yeah.
don't want to go back into that, be required to be at the office or whatever.
Um, okay. Yeah, you're talking about the commercial side, going back to the office, but you mentioned about selling, having. I mean, you mentioned about selling properties. Is that planned, or is something that you are having to adapt because of the market?
Okay, so in regards to what? In regards to the
Downsizing. I think you mentioned that you are downsizing, or no?
say it again.
I think I think you mentioned that you are downsizing. You
Oh,
having
they
to sell.
downsized. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of companies downsized. A lot of companies let you work from home. A lot of all of
No, no,
that.
no. I mean about your properties. I think you mentioned just now that you having to sell
Oh,
properties.
no, we have a couple of our self-storage locations for sale right now.
Why is that? Is
So
that planned or you're reacting to the
that's
market?
part of our plan
Okay.
to
Okay.
to you know
That's good. I'm asking. The only reason I'm asking is because I spoke with other operators and they uh, felt that the best strategy was to downsize their portfolio. That was all. That's why I'm asking. It was
oh
not
no, so
planned, but they,
but that would be
yeah.
some of the same kind of thing. We're going to downsize so we can pay down our debt and keep our funds that we need floating. You know what I mean? We need to have a certain amount of
Yeah.
capital over here that we can use to pay our bills. And another thing that we do or we've done is that we challenge the property taxes because
Oh,
Texas is very expensive in taxes. You know, they like to charge you a lot. So we've been using people to come in and lawyers to come in and challenge the county, the state on our about our taxes. And I think I just saw one come over where we did a challenge, and it was like it was quite beneficial for us. So
Huh.
it is a cost, right, to pay for the attorneys, but if they get us a reduction in the amount of taxes that we owe, that's a win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Because some of our valuations are built, we're based on occupancy and, you know, I would say that you always want to be careful on occupancy to make sure that, I mean, as much as you can, that it's real. Because sometimes it's like, oh, yeah, we have 600 out of 800 units rented or whatever. And it's like, well, when you get there, they're delinquent or this isn't it's like there's so many things to think about that you go, huh, I think being in multifamily and doing commercial, that kind of stuff is you're always learning. Just like in residential real estate, you're always learning, you're always
Yeah.
adapting to what's going on in the market, and I think that there is for the smart operators, there is plenty of opportunity to score some big deals right now.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely
You
that
think that?
is. There is. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Um I wanted to I wanted you to tell me about your journey. You are a seasoned investor and operator in this market. You have seen a lot, but I want you to understand, what do you like most about real estate? What's your mindset when you are, let's say, shopping? No, not shopping. I want to understand in general,
I
and
mean,
also
it is
I don't
kind
know
of
your
shopping.
background.
Oh,
Hmm? And also, I
you
don't know
want
your
to?
background. Have you always done? I think that's what I want to know. Have you always done it? Have you always
No,
been a real
no,
estate investor?
no, no, no. I always wanted to know, like my past jobs have been, I was a banker for a long time.
Oh,
And then I went into media sales. So radio, TV, print. I started a couple radio stations, et cetera, et cetera. So I did that, which was really fun. And then I got my real estate license in 2005, but it still sold media. So I did both for a while. But I got my real estate license because I wanted to invest, even though I ended up buying and selling with sellers and buyers and that kind of stuff. On the residential side, my aspiration was always to do commercial investing. Does that make sense?
okay. Yeah,
And so, as you know, going to Rod's events, that the commercial world is very dominant by men.
yeah.
Right?
Unfortunately, I'd say.
I would say it's probably at least, I would say 80% men, 20% women, and that's being generous. Um, and so it was hard for women because, like it or not, there's still the good old boys club. Like what does a woman know or how could she possibly know anything? And so it was like having to, throughout all my life, I've kind of had to break that ceiling. It's like, okay, oh, so this is a male dominant field. I think I'll go there. I mean, that was kind of like, okay, I'm gonna go. So so I actually happened on, um, gosh, 5 or 6 years ago. I happened on Grant Cardone, Mr. 10X, right? Mr. 10X. And so I went to his first kind of boot camp, if you will, for real estate investing. And he had a real estate club. And I can just tell you that Rod's price is considerably better than Grant's. So Grant was at that point like 20, 25,000 for 1 year. And we were the first, I was in the first club, real estate club that he had. I mean, legit, like the first real estate club that he had. And so we would have weekly meetings. I mean, that's where he did things like pitch your deal and stuff like that, where you learned to pitch to your potential investors, right? It was like, and he is all kind of about sell the sizzle. You know what I mean? Like, look at the picture. He's selling the sizzle. You know what I mean? Like the sparkly things. Because a lot of people, and I don't know if you've found this to be true, when you're looking at the pitch deck, people don't, I mean, some people are very numbers orientated, right? And that's great. And that's where you want to be. But people want to be sold on the sizzle. They want to be sold on, look at this property and it's right down the street from a Whole Foods and there's a Starbucks over here and this is a great location and look at these are Class A apartments and et cetera, et cetera. So, and they have paddle boarding and this and that. And so you're selling the sizzle. You know what I mean? And it doesn't mean that it's not a good deal. It's just the way you present it. So that
Yeah.
was one of the things that Grant really honed in on with us. We had weekly calls, and he was on the calls, and we would pitch to Grant, and that was frightening because he will cut. He's not
Ooh.
quite as nice as Rod. Rod would be a little more amenable to that, but Grant would just like cut your head off. Have you been to the property? And you better say yes, you've been to the property. Have you been to the property? You better say yes. You better say yes. Or it's like, do you have any money in this deal? Do you have any money in this deal? Oh, you want me to put my money in this deal, but you have no money in this deal. So where's your skin in the game? So it's just like, it sharpened you. It made you like fighter worthy or something. And so it was an amazing learning experience. And then some of the people that were in Grant's group found Rod Cleve, right? Our mentor. And so he was having an event in Denver, where up the road from me. So I was like, and they were going to be there. I said, okay, let me check this out. And I was like, oh, so Rod has a completely different way of approaching things than Grant. I
Okay.
call Rod like the Tony Robbins of real estate investing because he's more mindset and like get yourself in the right place in mind and look for deals. And it's like, but Grant was like, man, don't look at, get rid of your duplexes, get rid of this, get rid of that. And I'm like, and Rod's more like, if you like and you're making money in duplexes, then do it. When you're ready to go to the next level, do it. But I think Rod is a little more generous that way, you know. Grant
Yeah.
was like, why bother? Get out of that. Sell your house. I'm like, okay, where do I live? I'm like, okay, sell my house. And so it was kind of unsettling on that. But it was, I would have to tell you this, and I think as far as people when they're thinking about going into a program like Rod's or like Grant's, it's an investment in yourself, right?
Yeah.
And I can tell you with 100% that when I decided I wanted to do it and I was going to do it, I literally cried because I was like, I had never kind of thrown down that kind of money on myself, invested in myself. And I think a lot of people have that fear too, to invest in themselves and where they want to go. I don't know if you felt that way, but it was like I just cried. I was like, "Oh my God, what have I done?" And I kept thinking 10x, 10x, 10x. So I look at that and I threw down 25,000 and that was a lot of money for me. I'm not like a lot of us, we're not flush with cash, right?
Yeah.
And I did that and I kept thinking, he said 10x. I'm going to 10x my business. And I can tell you that year in real estate, residential real estate, I gross my GCI was 250,000. So I 10xed from the investment to over here. And part of it was being in the right room with the right people, learning, doing, being more confident, et cetera, et cetera. So I feel like that was a good stepping stone. And then I think Rod's group, even though there's crossovers, people in both, I feel like I'm more at home with Rod, if that makes sense. I'm
Yeah,
more I mean he's graciously given me like how many like I win. Like I what do I have? One of those
oh
I have all those little award things. I'm like I'm
yeah,
looking over here. I'm looking over here going, what does that one say? Yeah. So I mean as far as I appreciate that he appreciates my contributions. Do you know what I mean?
definitely. Yes.
I and I think as far as we all have, maybe you don't, but I think we all do, imposter syndrome, right?
Yeah, yeah, of course, of course.
And we're like, I won this award, but what? What? And you sit there and you go, somebody maybe with Rod is they see something in you that helps spur you to go on to other things. Does that make sense? The
Yeah.
potential, the grit that it took to get there. Um, so I look at that and I think, part of it was I have I have a group called Women Realtors Who Invest. And I also do that women's breakfast thing. So it's just kind of like it's a way to put women together. Because remember I said we're the minority there. And so we need to come together as women and work with each other. So I have about 100 people in my Women Realtors Who Invest,
Wow.
and and I need to do that's just a little over a year old. There you go. And it's for women realtors like myself that go, I've always wanted to invest, but I don't know what to do. So that is kind of that's my give back to the community that I work in, if that makes
Wow,
sense.
amazing. Yeah, amazing. There was a
Yeah.
transformation there, right? And that moment back in time, it was crucial for you then.
Oh, when I joined Grant's group for the first
When
time,
you just yeah, when you
when I threw
decided
down
I'm going
that
to invest in myself.
$25,000, oh my God. I mean, maybe y'all feel different about it, but I don't. As a woman and as a mother, a wife, that kind of stuff, you're typically last on the list, right?
Yeah, yeah, I
The
see it
kids are
from
going to
my
get the
wife. She
shoes,
tells
and
me
the kids
that.
are, yeah, the kids are going to get the shoes and the food and whatever, and the husband's going to get this, and you are going to get some leftovers. And so, it's just kind of a lot of women don't feel like they're worthy or they're worth it. I know that sounds weird, but I think there's some truth in that. And I think that seeing women in this group is really, it's very heartwarming because
I
there
agree.
are very capable women. I'm not saying there's not capable men, but I'm saying there's very capable women out there that are like, I mean, there's a GP on our team. Oh my God, she is so freaking smart, like with numbers and all that. She is like amazing. And I sit there and I go, wow, I'm just impressed because I'm like, she just gets in there and works with it. And it's just
But don't no don't you think you're just as smart?
in different ways.
Okay, good.
Because I
Okay.
did a thing on one of Rod's boot camps, and I talked about the value of teams, right?
Yeah.
And that everybody has a role. Not everybody is an asset manager. Well, we all kind of are, but there's people that have specific roles, or project manager or capital fundraiser. We all, if you're a GP, you're raising capital, so just be ready. So it's like we all do certain roles, but some of us shine in Like some people are like amazing underwriters. I'm okay. I'm good. I'm not like these other people are like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. But I think they're just better at that, right? Other people are better at presentation or um, investor relations, that kind of thing. So that would probably be my superpower. I'm kind of better in that realm and kind of out of the box thinking. Those are kind of the things that I think I'm good at is like, selling that sizzle. That's what I think.
Good, good.
But
And what was your motivation on that point that made you do that step? And what transformation do you think it happened after that step?
um,
Since it was you
I had
said,
always wanted to do it. I had always wanted to do it. And
so
my
you're
kids
giving
were,
voice to yourself.
yes. So my kids were grown. I had made money on my own as a single woman. Um, so you had to go through all those steps. And that's something I always wanted to do. So it was the time and the place that allowed me to do that. So it was,
Okay.
but it was scary. I'm not going to lie. It's
Yes,
like,
yeah, that's why I'm asking. Yes, yes.
it was like, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? And then I think that sometimes people go, oh my God, I was watching Grant and you were on some sort of something or other. And I'm like, what? I am? I'm like, really? And then as far as I've done some podcasts for Rod, I mean, like he knows he can count on me. He's like, Bonnie, will you do this? I'm like, okay,
Okay.
you know. And I think as far as but I think as far as what I learned in all of that is put put yourself in the right room with the right people. If you're not in the room, you're out here. I think multifamily investing and commercial investing is a team sport. It's not a solo endeavor.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, you can do it on your own, but why? Why? Why do you want to do that when you have other people that have amazing skill sets over here? It's kind of like I run. I'm the president of a chamber, right? And so I oversee. I am the thought person. I oversee. I make good logical decisions. I tell people if they want something, convince me. I mean, I'm open to it. Convince me. But then I have people that are, this person loves Google Sheets and they have every Google Sheet for everything in the world that makes my head spin. And there's other people that have other skills, And so you sit there and you try to build a team, a great team that works as a single unit, but they all do separate functions, if that makes sense. Like this person can do that over there. Because doing it all yourself, it's not the best way to do it. So I think when I talked about the value of teams, I think I believe in it. I mean, you gotta. So that's what I used to always say to people. Like, I used to go, "What team am I on?" Because some people have just like immediately kind of form teams, and I'm kind of like this. Have you ever heard of the term floater? Like you float into different jobs and different roles and different teams, and you kind of float around. I think that's what I'm at because I don't have a specific team. I mean, I have a team for my self storage, but um, you know that I would say that would be a team to some degree. But I I would, what I'd probably be looking for now is a team that has the same mindset, goals, and aspirations as me and has different skill sets than me, all of us coming together and moving forward. So I think that's the ultimate goal for people in multifamily, I think.
Yeah,
I
totally
mean,
agree. Yeah.
do you agree?
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree. Totally agree. Yeah. But I'm curious, what transformation you think you had from that point that you decided to give that step? How that journey transformed you? Because you
Oh
had
my
a lot of
gosh.
courage to take that step. So, in what way were you
It
transformed?
gave me, it forced, you got comfortable being uncomfortable.
Beautiful. Yeah.
You felt, yeah, you had to get comfortable being uncomfortable, and you knew that there were people smarter than you, people that were not where you were, people that you could pull, it's just like it was constant learning. It still is constant learning. And, but it was like a confidence builder. Um, I tend to be really, um, take this personally, because I remember, like, when you're doing certain capital raises, you can only, like, I think it was it. My brain is not a Schedule B or something. Like, there was one of them that's like you can only have people that you know, that you can
Okay.
capital raise from, and so that's frightening. Go ask your mom for money, and she's looking at you like, what in the world? Go ask your brother for money. Go ask your best friend for money. And then if something, go ask your daughter for money. So, like, in my GP deal, my some of my best friends and my daughter and her family are investors, and that matters more. It's not like some random people I don't know. It's people that I know, like, and trust, and know that they love me and I love them. And the last thing I want to do is let them down. You know what I mean? So that's a big weight, I think. It's different than, oh, I can ask anybody and, it doesn't matter. When it's,
Yeah.
you have to ask your people in your small sphere, and they look at you like, why would I want to do that? Why would I want to invest with you? And you're like, well, because I think
Yeah.
it's a good deal or whatever. You just, like, my
Please.
brother. My brother didn't do it, and he's been in real estate forever. And he went into some other deal, and it was like he lost money, and I'm like, told ya. So it's just, I could do that for him, but it's tough. It is very. I take it very seriously, and I just like I do with my real estate. People trust me to do the right thing and to take care of them and to look out for their best interest. And I think as a general partner, you're looking at the deal, you're keeping the deal in place, and you're also taking care of your limited partners that are your family, friends, people you know. You know, you don't want to have to go live in a cave somewhere because something went bad, right? You
Yeah.
want to you want them to go, wow, that was great. I love that. It- and sometimes that happens, and sometimes it's a little more challenging. And so that's where we are with the self storage. It's a little more challenging right now. But I
Yeah.
don't think I don't think I know that I'm not the only warrior that's been through some of that. I've heard some of the stories. What does Rod say? Learn from my mistakes. Like he says, learn from my mistakes so you don't make them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that's what I would say. We all are learning. So the next one, I'm going to be smarter. The next deal is smarter. And as I feel more confident in it turning around, because it's taking a lot of my energy to just, where's the deal? Where are we at? What can we do? That going out to get another one is a little trepidatious. It's like, no, I would have to be, my next underwriting and my next deal will be so tight. It will be like, I will be ridiculous for the
Yeah.
amount of information that I need. But
Yeah.
that, you don't know what you don't know, right?
Yeah. You don't. You don't. It is rewarding when it works, but the ones that are not working, how are you handling that?
you have weekly meetings, you
Oh,
come up with
those.
flex plans, that thing.
Okay,
You like,
those. Okay.
so it's just like my other ones, like I invested with Grant as a limited partner and I get little checks. Class A properties don't typically pay you a lot of money, but I get at first they give you like 4%. So people are like, anyway, so but I get a check like every quarter. There we go. Woo,
Ooh.
woo. And I think as far as what I love so much about uh my experiences so far is the God, what is it? It's your K1. When I get to write
Ah,
off
okay.
my
Yeah.
taxes
Sorry.
from the beginning, from the top, and I get to take that right off of my gross earnings, it's heaven. It's
Well.
heaven. It's like Christmas because because as a real estate agent, you want to write off everything you can. So, but I mean that I go, it's Christmas. Here's your K1, and that's why a lot of people invest as limited partners because they can write that off. And
Yeah.
as a GP, I get a write off, and as an LP, I get a write off, and I'm like, happy days. So
Yeah.
that's been my favorite part so far.
It is,
Yeah, that's
and I can tell. Well, you're not in the W-2 anymore, but and I can tell you that if you have a W-2 and you still do the side hustle, it's not the same tax write-off. It's still not the same. Even having a
oh
business on the side, yeah, it takes a
oh
bit, takes off a bit, but not that much.
oh. It's just like take that off, boom,
Yeah,
and I'm like, and now I heard that that the capital gains is going back to 100% or something. Like they're
yeah,
going back up. We were going to reduce. Remember, they were trying to get rid of it, which would
hmm,
have really hurt investing. And now I think it's going the other way. So
yeah,
that's why some people that are high earners, high income earners, have investments to have the write offs.
yes, yes,
And so that's why you like people with money, right? No,
exactly.
that need some write offs. Yeah. I like people with money that need write offs, please.
That's where we are going. Come on.
That's where we're going. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
needed write offs. I got write offs. So,
Okay, now you're sharp. I see that you're sharp, and I want to give you a scenario. Let's pretend I'm taking everything that you own. I'm taking. You don't own anymore. Okay? And you have to redo it. You have to redo everything you did so far. I want to know how long you need to redo it and what would you do differently?
are you talking about my whole life or just my multifamily life?
Your whole life, whatever you want to put in there, but your whole life, whatever you think, okay, I'm
I
proud
heard
of this.
something. I heard something recently that I thought was really profound. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, of course.
There was a billionaire, and he was talking, and he's like in his 90s, and he's like, "What is the most important?" The guy asked him, "What is the most important decision that you will make?
Mary.
Who you marry?
Yeah.
Who you
Who do you
marry?"
marry?
And it
I
was you
totally
knew that
agree.
already. Did you know that already? Because what it does is it makes a complete difference in your life
Oh
depending
yeah.
on who you pick. It can be a struggle or it can be a success.
Yeah.
And, not all of us make that choice, right?
Yeah.
And that's okay. We live and learn. But he said, picking your spouse and picking your spouse made the difference. So, but I'm that person. I don't have do overs. I like everything that I've been through and everything that I've done has led me to where I am now. And I
Yeah.
would, and some of it was painful, but some of it was wonderful. And I feel like I've lived. I have a line that I do a play, and one of my last lines is, "And I have no regrets." I have
I
no
think that's the
regrets.
important. Yeah, I agree.
I
That I
mean,
think
as
that's the
far
important.
as yeah, because it's like, okay, what's done is done. What you learned, you didn't die. I'm still here, and you can move forward. And so I go, I don't want to, I don't know that I would, sure, we would, I don't know. I don't think I would do anything differently. I mean, everything that I've done led me to where I am today.
Yeah,
That's how I see it.
yeah. Awesome, awesome, beautiful. That's I agree. I don't have to agree, but I agree. That's how I live as well. I don't want to have regrets, so I try.
And we don't, and we fail sometimes, but always what Gary Keller says: fail forward, fail often, fail forward. Fail
Yeah.
often, fail forward. The only time you truly fail is when you don't get back up.
Yes.
When you stay down and you stay defeated, that's when you truly fail. Otherwise, get back up, dust yourself off. Whew, that was crazy, and move on.
Let's go. Yeah. Right. That's
Yeah.
the way. Try and error. And what success looks like to you? What's your version of success?
Oh, there's that poem about success. To
No, I
have
don't
the
think so.
have the love of children. Uh, Success to me is to, when I look on my life, is that I have done the things that I wanted to do, and I took chances, even though afraid I did them, and that I had three wonderful daughters and eight grandchildren, and they are my legacy, and they are wonderful people. That's a success. That I have friends and family and people that love me, and I love them. So that, and I it comes from that. From that comes a bunch of things. It can be it can be anything. I mean, somebody could stop me on the street and say, "I just like your smile. Here's $100,000." I don't know. It could happen. That'd be
Yeah.
nice.
And
Let's
your
think
smile is
about that.
great.
I need to get that. But no, I have seen miracles in my life that I know are miracles without question. So I believe, I believe in a higher power, and I believe that that power loves me and wants my good, and is there when I need them, him, her, however you want to look at it. But I've seen it in action. And so when you live in the, I'm going to call it a supernatural kind of zone, you can't go back to normal.
No.
It's not possible.
When we vibrate at this high frequency that we achieve, because I know that we have achieved, you don't go back, and it's amazing. It's an amazing place to be.
I know, because miracles are everywhere. It's like, oh my gosh, how did that happen? Oh, okay, you know how it happened. So that would be all success. That my girls are happy, my grandchildren are good and thriving, and that I have people that I love and love me. That to me is success. If I
Yes.
have a bunch of money, great. But the money, I guess, money is. Understand. I don't have the love of money, but I understand what money can afford you, and so that's important. But it's like, it's not the almighty dollar that I seek. It's just not. It's like, I know that I will be taken care of, however that looks. I, as Paul says in the Bible, I know what it is to be abased and abounding. I know what it is to be poor as a church mouse and to be wealthy. I've known both of them, and in either case, I still remain the same. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
My
It does.
fundamental principles and morals and all that still stay the same.
To me, it's just to lower the stress. Let's say, uh, not happiness. Happiness is the family. is everything you described. But it to me is just so you can keep living without much stress and have freedom in some sorts.
I know. I love freedom because I was like, I was in a W-2 job for a long time and then I'm not for a long, I've also been out of that for a while. And I'm like, I couldn't go back to W-2, telling me where I got to be when I got to be. Can't do it. So freedom is amazing.
Yes, yes, it is.
Freedom is wonderful.
Now I want to give you a billboard.
You're going to give me a billboard
Yes, and I want to know what you want to put there.
on my billboard?
Yes. What would you have there?
How many words do I have to have?
It's yours.
I'm like going, I'm trying to think like that. I'm like, okay, what am I trying to say? Like, let me see.
You're cheating. What you're doing? You're cheating.
I'm just writing it down from my mind. Okay. Success is certain when you don't give up.
So true.
Success is certain when you don't give up. There's my billboard. What's yours? What's yours?
Oh, thanks for asking. Yes, mine. I've been having a lot of these conversations, and I've been giving some thought. I would just write believe.
I like that. I like that one. Very simple.
Yeah, I think that's where everything comes from. If you believe in yourself, if you believe that you can do anything, if you believe, you just go for it.
I don't disagree with that. Believe is a good statement. I believe.
Yeah, certainly you do.
I know. But success is certain when you don't give up.
Yeah.
Kind of like that frog that is like choking that crane. Have you ever seen that picture?
No, I haven't.
Where the crane or the bird is trying to swallow the frog and the frog is trying to choke
Oh,
the crane.
remember? Yeah, I remember.
It's kind of like that. It's like, oh, okay. I'm gonna get out of this somehow. But yeah. But yeah. That's what I thought of. I don't know. It's where my brain went.
No, it's again, it's so true. Also simple. Yeah, that's how we do it, and consistently doing. Yeah.
What thinks of that song? This is how we do it, baby.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's how we do it, baby. Yeah.
That's how we do it.
Anyway. But yeah,
Well,
this was fun.
yeah. Oh, thank you. That's good.
It
Any?
went fast. I think we're over an hour.
Wow. Indeed, I
I'm
wasn't
serious.
checking.
It's 4:33 and we started at 3:31 or so.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I just would ask you if you have any books or podcasts or anything that you consume that you would recommend.
I gosh, there's a guy. Oh, I see his face. I wish you would ask me this earlier because then I could have done it. Well, I would think what his Rod always gives us, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Oh yeah,
Right? And then I have like, what do I have here? Hold on a second. Let me look.
yeah.
Hold, please. Let's see.
Your call is very important. Please hold the line.
Here we go. I'm like, okay, here's my, okay. All right, here's some books.
Oh yeah, Rod's book.
How to Create Lifetime Cash Flow, Rod Cleave.
Rod
There's
Cleave.
one, a recommendation. Think and Grow
Think and
Rich.
Grow Rich.
Build an Empire by Elena Cardone.
Oh, okay.
The 10X Rule by Grant
Yeah,
Cardone.
I read that one. Yes, great.
Be
Also
obsessed.
about action execution.
Be obsessed or be average. Grant
Yeah,
Cardone.
yeah, that one as well.
So I'm like, those are just in my bookcase. And I'm like, huh. And then yeah. And then what would be a last one? The purpose driven life. Here we go. And this is more of a religious one, but what on earth am I here for? The purpose driven life. It's an older book,
Oh, okay.
but
I don't know that one. I'm gonna check it.
yeah, it's by Rick Warren. Has a big church out of California. But anyway, the purpose driven life. What am I here for? We should all ask that, right?
We should all find our purpose.
So there we go. I have given you suggestions.
Awesome. And I read some. I like that. I like that I read some of those.
Yes,
Oh,
Rod.
that's
There you
it.
go, buddy.
Oh yeah, Radcliffe. Bonnie, you rock as always. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. It was fun.
I'm glad for that. That's what I mean. I mean to these brilliant minds that we all have, and get the golden nuggets. And you gave me a lot.
Good. I'm glad.
Any last thoughts or messages?
Mm, success is certain when you don't give up. There we go. My billboard. So there we go. And I have no regrets.
Amazing. Thank you, Bonnie. We
You're
see
welcome.
soon. We'll see you
Yes.
soon.
Okay. Yeah. In a couple months.
Yeah. Take care then.
Okay. Bye.
Bye bye.